Do you fly off the handle when you get triggered? Let's get some help with this. Go through these slides with me. Triggers versus genuine concerns. What's a real concern versus a trigger? This will be interesting because I think every trigger is totally valid, but let's understand the difference. And of course, when I say totally valid, I mean that the trigger is for you. Like it's for you to go in and see what is that all about. Um, okay, understanding the difference between triggers and genuine concerns is foundational to conscious communication in relationships. I mean, it's important to know what's your stuff, right? Because we all come to relationship with baggage or like a history, right? Or programming from childhood, versus what's probably a genuine concern. Like, I don't like the terminology because a trigger is genuine, but a genuine concern, I'm guessing, is going to be like, what's current in this relationship, like actually happening with my partner, something we need to actually address versus something I need to do my inner work on. This is my guess. Okay, so we're looking for conscious communication in relationships. Let's work on our communication, right? So many bad relationships out there. Um, Such a struggle, right? Let's work on our communication skills. Okay, so this distinction of triggers versus genuine concerns is going to be really interesting. Come on this journey with me. Helps us respond with wisdom rather than react from old wounds. So again, I'm going to say that old wound stuff, like take that time and do that inner work, give that love to you. But yeah, it's not about your partner, probably. Okay. When you're being triggered, triggers are emotional reactions, strong ones, anger, or whatever, right? Usually under anger, for me at least, is crying or sadness. Okay. So yeah, it goes right back to childhood. Triggers are emotional reactions rooted in past experiences that feel disproportionately intense compared to what's actually happening in the present moment. Yeah, but it's the perfect time to connect to yourself and reprogram this stuff and give love to those parts of you that need it. Learning to recognize them is the first step toward healing. Yeah, I mean, okay, so I'm 46 years old. Did I always understand what was happening? No. Is it useful to know what's happening and that it's not about the other person? Yeah. And something that really helped me was Isha Judge System. I really recommend that program if you're looking for help with this. It's hard to describe. You got to just experience it. For example, imagery I have from that program is, and I don't know if they said that or if I kind of elaborated on it, but it's like you're triggered by a person or a situation, and then imagine them on the surface of the ocean, and then you sink down to the bottom of the ocean in your consciousness. What's really going on? So you like separate it from the person or the situation that triggered you. You still care so much about what that is about. You get really curious, really loving, explore that, feel the feelings that need to be felt, right? But it's separated. Like the trigger, because you want to lash out if you're like me at what's causing that in you, but really it's about sinking into your consciousness, feeling those feelings, giving love to you, separating from the actual person or experience. Emotional intensity, your response feels big. That's what a trigger is, you know, when you like so angry so fast, or you're so whatever it is, whatever the feeling is, anxious, right? When it's like a seemingly small thing. But here's something I learned from Teal Swan. You're not overreacting. There is no overreacting. You're not too dramatic, okay? Sensitivity is a wonderful thing, right? You just have to learn to work with it. And it's just reacting validly and appropriately, not disproportionately, but to stuff from way long ago. And it's interesting, like to do this inner work. So a small comment creates a storm of feelings, takes over your body and your mind. Um, Yeah, and another thing I learned from Teal is parts work, right? Where this trigger, you're so upset. Sorry, I almost spilled something. And she uses claw clips, like hair claw clips. It's like it takes over, right? A part of you. So a child part, for example, who maybe validly felt a certain way in childhood and then it never got processed, right? And so you still react like this as an adult. Physical activation, notice tension, see where is it in your body. Some people are better at this than others. We can all practice this. If the feeling is anger, rage, anxiety, panic, like where do you feel it in your body? Try to tune into physical sensations. Is your belly upset? Is there a tightness in your chest? Do you have a headache? Like what? Cold hands. Like what do you feel in your body? Your heart races, you feel hot, your breathing becomes shallow and rapid, repeating patterns. These same feelings show up in your childhood or teenage years. So, whatever's happening, you think, when did I first feel that way? Right? What does it trace back to? But don't worry about your mind too much. Don't try to figure it out with your mind. Your body is taking over. You got to go in somatically. Go running, do breath work, sing to music, something to help soothe yourself, right? And for me, I get the answers to what's going on if it's not self-evident, right? When I go into my breathwork practice, like I get my answers there, and everyone has a different thing they like. Maybe you don't have anything yet, though. So, like, try anything. Try Isha Judd system. Try breathwork. Try meditation. Try um, I like to put on kirtan music and sing and chant for hours, right? Okay. More signs of being triggered. Story making. You create elaborate narratives about others' motives, intentions, or character. It's really, really easy to blame. Are you a blamer? I'm a blamer, but I'm learning how to not be and how to do my own inner work, right? And it's beautiful. You guys, if you haven't learned this yet, it's so beautiful. I want to help you. There are many modalities to help you. It's so empowering when you learn these skills and so interesting if you're like me and into like psychology and shadow work and inner work, parts work, all this stuff. It's really cool. And it's about love. I mean, it's getting love to you. Yeah. So maybe you make up a story. They did this because they don't respect me. You, and then there's the three fingers pointing back at yourself. This proves they never really cared. You don't love me. You don't care, whatever the story is, right? So it's really hard because it's such a strong feeling, but you got to, I like that image of the triggers on the top floating by on the top of the water, and you're sinking down into your consciousness, maybe having some imaginary friends help hold you there. I mean, this is just my visual, right? Get some distance from that. And it happens so quick, do the somatic, like meaning come out of your mind. Your mind is going to be going, but move your body. Just move your body. Jog, you know, whatever you need to do, okay? Projection. Your focus becomes laser focused on what the other person is doing wrong, right? And so as long as you're doing that, you're not going to connect with yourself, your consciousness, your heart. What happened as a child? What is it that was triggered so that you can love you? It doesn't matter if that person's not going to probably understand what's happening within you. You have to go within you, right? Urgency and control. You feel compelled to act immediately, fix, change, control the situation of the other person. Waiting feels impossible, even dangerous. Yeah, I love that. So, what are triggers like for you? How do you experience them? Are you a runner? Are you a yeller? Like, what do you do? Right? What skills have you learned that help you to get through those without harming yourself or others, right? And to do the inner work to connect. I mean, because really it's an opportunity. They don't feel like blessings, but they are because it helps you to connect to you. And if you don't know what I mean, just reach out. I will explain it. I can show you. I can work with you, whatever. Okay. What genuine concerns look like. So now we talked about triggers. Now we're talking about genuine concerns. So this is interesting. This would probably be a current thing, right? Something that is actually happening now. I love that about like present moment awareness. What is actually happening now? Like it's all about coming away from this, right? Coming away from the thinking. Um, Genuine concerns come from a grounded, present place. So that would be like after your trigger, after you move the physical energy, after you do somatic practices, run, jog, connect with yourself, cry, punch a pillow, whatever, right? Kind of realize what's going on, then you could communicate that. And guess what? At that point, sometimes you don't care, right? You're like, oh, I'm fine, without even having a genuine concern to bring up with the partner, unless you enjoy, explaining your process. And for them to care about that, that's kind of a cool thing, an intimate thing, right? All right. Genuine concerns are about communicating actual needs and boundaries, not about changing or controlling another person. So a proportionate response, your emotional reaction matches the situation. If something is a small issue, it feels small, not like the end of the world. Present focus. You're responding to what's happening now, not to accumulated hurts from the past. The situation stands on its own without historical baggage. That's a really good trick to use in relationship is just talk about, of course, you have a whole history of stuff and we all do this, right? You always do this. You never, right? Just focus on the exact thing in the current situation. Just that. It's hard enough, right? Factual communication. You can describe the situation without adding interpretive stories. You didn't call, rather than you didn't call because you don't care about me. I laugh because I relate to all of this. I've come really far and I still have struggles. Actionable and boundaried. You can address it through direct, honest communication about your own needs and limits without needing the other person to change who they are. So it's like magic to do these somatic practices and inner work. Because once you do, you're like, it's not so bad after all. Like you're able to communicate appropriately, right? Express your needs. I mean, it's very empowering. So I'm excited for you to be on your journey and learn some of these skills. It's so sad to me that a lot of people just like medicated or whatever. Quick check-in questions. When you notice yourself having a strong reaction, pause and ask yourself these questions. Honest self-inquiry creates space between reaction and response. So pause, and if it's going really fast in your head and your body is taken over and vibrating or whatever you experience, right? What are those physical things that you feel when you're triggered? Move that energy, go run, go jog, go, do breathing, sing. Okay. Does this feeling remind me of something from my past? Like for me, if I'm really triggered, I can't immediately just like sit and ask myself questions. So I would recommend move some of your energy, help soothe yourself, or chant in your earbuds as you're looking at this type of questions. Okay. Care about you. It feels out of control. Give love to you. Help yourself. Help soothe yourself. And then ask some of these questions. Does this feeling remind me of something from my past? When did I first feel this way? What is this triggering in me? Right? It's not really about my partner, for example. It's like, is this one of my things? Like by my age, I've learned like what my things are, right? Like, oh, this is one of my patterns. It's just reactivated. I still want to blame, but actually I'm aware like this is my pattern, right? Have you felt this exact way before, especially in childhood or previous relationships? Am I making up stories about someone's intentions? Like you don't know, right? Like I think I know in those moments what he's thinking, and I don't. Check whether you're interpreting meaning rather than dealing with observable facts. So, for example, a part may have taken over, right? You might be in like an inner child part that's very, very defensive and protective. And yes, it can be inappropriate to lash out and things like this, but care about that. Like something is needing protection, it's trying to help you, right? So care about that, right? Um, Is my emotional response bigger than the situation warrants? Compare the size of your feelings to the event. Are they proportionate? Am I trying to control someone else's choices? Notice if you're focused on changing them rather than expressing your own needs. It's very easy to go to that, and nothing gets better until you turn it back to yourself. Pause, help yourself, move your energy, do some mat practices, connect to you, see what's going on, get really curious about you, and be really nice to you. What would I communicate if I were being completely honest about my own needs? And if it's still coming out sideways, you can write this, you can record a voice memo for yourself, listen to it. Sometimes it's about hearing ourselves. Um, get some help like that to know what are my needs, what is going on here, and then decide later what you can communicate that's honest and appropriate. Shift focus from their behavior to your authentic experience and boundaries. Your healing opportunity. When you feel inferior or inadequate, you may unconsciously get bigger by focusing on other flaws. Yeah, when I notice myself being judgmental, that's because I'm struggling with something. I'm feeling insecure. I'm needing to do my work, right? It's a protection mechanism from your past, not a genuine concern about the present. So we invite you to, instead of making someone else the problem, communicate your own needs to your partner once you've done the inner work. Speak your truth without needing to diminish another person. The trigger is the opportunity to heal. Absolutely. Absolutely. So many times on the other side of it, I'm like, oh, I'm grateful that quote unquote bad thing happened. Like, look what I learned. Look what I connected to in myself. Look at how I meditated. Look at you, right? The concern is what needs honest communication. Every time you pause, recognize a trigger, and choose a conscious response, you're rewiring old patterns and creating space for genuine intimacy. Yeah, and a great time to rewire is in the breath work for me. Okay, so that's it. Have a wonderful day. If you guys have anything you'd like to share on your experience of this with triggers or actual concerns, or if you want help with any of this, let us know. Wonderful.